Hi, I'm attorney Vincent Davis, and I've been fighting CPS for over 35 years. Through my years of experience, I've gained invaluable insights that I'm ready to share with you. If you're a parent or a caregiver or a relative, we need to talk. I'm offering a new opportunity for you to speak with me on a one-on-one basis. Ask me any questions, and I'll provide you with the insight you need to take steps in your CPS case. Members get everything they need to gain confidence and the knowledge that they need to support necessary to truly fight back. And as a special thank you for attending, I have a special offer just for you. Don't miss out, join us, and let's take that next step together. I'll see you at the question and answer event.
Good morning and welcome to my podcast. You're here to fight CPS, and I'm your host, Bob Pace. And please hang on to your children. You just heard from my attorney, Vincent Davis, who talks about an upcoming question and answer session on Saturday. I gotta move my mouse somewhere else. That you take time to see him and what he has to say. Now, you found me on Facebook, Fight CPS with Bob Pace, and I'm on twice a day, 7 days a week. I come on at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time and again at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. They're 1 hour podcasts. And the only exception to that is on Saturday, I come on at 8 o'clock to give more time for people to see Vincent's podcasts. Also, on Sunday, I come on at 8 o'clock so I can go to church. So those are the two times on the weekends. Now, Friday night is Friday night football. It's high school football. And I have a playoff game with my son on Friday night at 7 o'clock. And it's quite a far out there. So I'm hoping that I get permission to come on at 3 o'clock instead of 4 o'clock. Anyway, that's 14 shows I've been doing 7 days a week for the past year. And they're all recorded, so you can play them back if you miss anything or want to find out anything in there. I've shortened a lot of my things I normally talk about. And so there's a lot more on my older podcasts where you can see more in depth on the things I have. Now, there are 4 ways you can interact with this podcast. The first way is just be coming into this room where you can show emojis and check below to follow me and also for notifications. And also send me stars if you like. The second way to interact with this podcast is to type a message to me, either a question or a comment about your CPS. And all you need to do is show your first name and your city or the county that your case was in. Also, you need to show your state. Now, I also am seeing people from around the world. This is an international podcast. So I have about 16 countries, with New Zealand the last time talking. And so open to countries in CPS. So please put your province and country. So anyway, try to be complete with your CPS case. Like, try to tell me about your case so that we can talk and help you along the line there. A third way is to do a podcast. Now, a podcast is where I have windows for 9 people, total of 10, that you all can be on, and you can be talking together to help out each other and help out the people that come into the room. Now, all you need to do is contact my show producer, Grace, which I want to thank her very much, and she will help you get on the podcast. All you need to do is send her one of my 14 shows. You want to be on the morning or in the evening or on Saturday or Wednesday. You just let her know in the email. Our email is grace@vincentwdavis.com. That's grace@vincentwdavis.com. The fourth way to be on the podcast is to call. My number is 626 698 0990. And my phone is live. I only talk during the show times. So if you call me before my show time or after my show time, I cannot talk. That is an office phone number. And we use Vonage as the phone application on the internet. Now, there's another number there that's called 888-888-6582. That's the law offices of Vincent W. Davis. That's where you can call in if you want to retain him or you want to retain another attorney, such as in immigration or criminal or divorce or whatever particular in. Now, Mr. Davis is a dependency family juvenile lawyer. That's his background. He has dependency law dealing with juveniles and families. Furthermore, he's been doing this for 35 years. He's a trial attorney, and he knows his business quite well. He's in Arcadia, south of LA, and he has cases in San Bernardino, Riverside, LA, and Orange County, and up north in Shasta County, California. Also, he has a case in Oklahoma. He will go to other states. So he's the real deal. He's also fought CPS in civil lawsuits and won millions of dollars in both federal or state court. So that's what you need to look for, is a juvenile family dependency lawyer. That's the area that you're in, and that's what's really important there. Now, some of you that may not know what CPS stands for, I call it the Child Protection System. Every state will have a different name, like in Arizona, Department of Children's Services. In Kentucky, it's the Cabinet. In California, it's the Child Protection Services. So when I say the Child Protection System, I mean all the entities in all the states, all the counties, even worldwide. And that is a government agency that's a branch of social service that's supposed to protect our children from neglect and abuse, and also aid a family in need of food, shelter, clothing, transportation, educational, medical, or even a job. And furthermore, they're supposed to do family reunification. If it's necessary to break the family apart because the children are in extreme danger, they'll do so. And then they'll try to do unification with your family back together. Now, that is typically what I, think of CPS. As far as what I've seen, 99%, over 600 people I've talked to, has said differently, myself included, because I too had a case that lasted 5 years. No, lasted 3 years. I've been fighting for 15 years. My first 5 years, they were constantly coming out and harassing me because my in-laws had called in. They're my wife's mother, father, her 3 sisters, and her brother, accusing us, both me and my wife, of doing something wrong with her children. This went on week after week for 5 years. And finally, they got frustrated, got the police, and the police came out and found me. They had a detective, and he said, "You need to come back to your house, open it up." I said, "Why?" And he wouldn't tell me. And right there, I wish I knew about the lawyer thing, because I would have told him I need my lawyer present. I'm not opening up. You have to have a warrant to open up a place or to speak to a person like that, or to take your children. You got to have a warrant. And these are things I did not know. These are things that I've learned and studied them. So I want you all to know that CPS realistically is not good. Most of people, or 99% of people that call in, say so. Now, there's been about 3 people, they're social workers, that have called in and talked about him, but that's very far and very few. I hope more will call in, or even police would call in and share what they do with CPS. The reason why police are involved is for protection, is what CPS says. Too many social workers are being killed by going out or injured, so they have the police along to help keep the peace. So there's a lot of things you need to know, and it's kind of hard to cram it all down you inside of an hour. I have, 5 rules. One was you need to get an attorney, because it's like doing open heart surgery with CPS. They are not your friend, and they're very corrupt, and they will traffic your children, will alienate your children. Those are the facts. I speak that from firsthand experience. Now, who am I? I'm a family man. I've been married over 42 years. I have 6 children, 3 older ones and 3 younger ones. And I lost my job at the age of 60 in 2010. And I've been searching for work and found some jobs, but nothing really steady. And I'm still looking for work, as you say, today. I'm 75 years old. I need a steady career job. When CPS, after 5 years, finally forced me to come to my home, they had found out that they charged me neglect, me and my wife. And it was wrong, because there was nothing neglect. So what had happened is that my dad had died, my mom was slowly dying, and I had done my dad's request to give the things that he collected over 55 years of marriage. He collected and wanted to give them to the relatives. And so that's what I did. The only problem is I used my living room as a sorting area and a packing area. And CPS said that is negligence. And the police detective charged me the same case. There was actually a double case on me. It was really bad. I wish I got to my attorney sooner. That was Vincent Davis. But I had to sell my house and deal what I had to deal with. That house took me 45 years to get. It's a beautiful home a mile from the beach and so forth. So anyway, CPS is not kind, not nice. They're corrupt. They're corrupt. That's why you need an attorney. They're like open heart surgery. You need a specialist. You need someone trained and someone that will know as a fighter. An easy way to spot an attorney is to first see if they are a juvenile family dependency lawyer. If they are, then you want to know the next question is, have they ever fought CPS and won a civil suit against them? If the answer is no, or they haven't, then you want to steer away from those people, because you will have to sue them. You will have to fight them. And you certainly need a capable attorney by doing so. So, with that said, I feel really strong that that with the attorney, you will get your kids back. If you try the court-appointed attorney, it's going to be too tough on you, and it's not going to really work, because they have a caseload of 30 more clients, so won't have time. Plus, they're only trained in criminal law. They're brand new attorneys, and they're controlled by social service. Social service hopes you will take the children. Take the court-appointed attorney for the children and yourselves, for both spouses, because that way they can control it, and it's easy for them. It's easy for them. Now, the second rule I have, besides getting an attorney, is that, before I forget, if you are on my show as a guest or call in and you speak on the speakerphone forum, you are qualified for a 45-minute session with Mr. Davis. 45 minutes with Mr. Davis. 15 minutes with Mr. Davis. That's a free 15-minute session with Mr. Davis. and it will not cost you anything. All you have to do is tell me you want to have that 15 minutes when I ask you, and then you text me your name, your email, and your phone number, and then I forward it over to my show producer, Grace, who will make arrangements to have your time with Mr. Davis. It'll be a private Zoom consultation with Mr. Davis. It'll be real worth it. It's only 15 minutes, but I know there's a lot you can talk in 15 minutes. So it's really important that that you do this. You do that. Um, Another way is you be on my speakerphone and you get a 15-minute free session, free private consultation with Mr. Davis. So either talk on my phone on the speaker or be a guest, and that will entitle you to 15 minutes. Now, if you want longer time, there's a 30-minute session available for only $60. All you have to do is go to that website that's scrolling around the bottom of my screen. You get a 30-minute session for $60. You take your credit card, you go to that website, and you pay, your $60 and make a reservations for a time that works for you. And also for Mr. Davis, he'll show you the times. But that is 3 ways you can talk to Mr. Davis, or you can call the office number, the 888 number, and talk to him then, and you can retain him. So it's so important to have an attorney, because I didn't go anywhere until I got an attorney. So I'm telling you from experience, you need to get an attorney. And I mean a real bona fide attorney that's a fighter for CPS. A fighter for CPS. Now, rule number 2 is the notebook. That's just organizes it. It's a 3-ring, 8.5 by 8.5 by 11, and that's where you put subject dividers, notebook papers, and you put all the important documents. One document that's really important is your time log of the incidents with the CPS workers, the incident with the police, incident with the school, the incident with parents, the incident with children. You put all these incidents down, the date, the time, the location, um, and who is involved. Then you sit there and you create a summary of what the incident was about and write it down on the first line or second line. The first line is all the information part. And then the third line is the outcome. You want to write an outcome of what your case turned out to be. That's all you need to do, and you keep doing that. But after a year, you'll see how many you'll have and be able to look back and answer your questions. So that's really important to have that. So it is a really good thing, this notebook. Then the third rule is you want to say no to social workers, no to police. Don't let them in your home. Don't answer the door. They're strangers. People have been killed opening the door. Also, if you open the door, that means you give permission, and they're going to suddenly think they can search your home or take your children if necessary. You don't want that to happen. So if you see them outside or you hear a call from them or something like that, you say you do want to meet with them, but do not meet at their office. Do not meet at your home. They'll search your home. Also, they'll take your children if you bring them down to the office or there. What you want to do is you want to meet at Starbucks or McDonald's, and that way you can document everything that takes place, because a lot of places you're not allowed to document. So it's really important that you do so, and that you have that as one of your action items that you got to take care of. So if you see them outside, just tell them very nicely, I'm going to get my attorney to meet with you, and they will get back to you. Make sure you get their name and their number and how they get a hold of them. There's something called medical trafficking. That's part of my rule number 3. And medical trafficking is where either you bring your child in who's sick to urgent care or the emergency, or you're pregnant and you're coming in to have your child. In both cases, do not talk to social workers there. They are there. They'll ask you questions, and then sometimes they'll twist and turn what the doctor says. So be really, really, really careful. The best person to take the children to is their pediatrician that you set up. And usually they're in private practice, they won't have social workers there. As far as a pregnancy, try to have them up ahead of time, and only the following people should enter the room. The sheriffs and the social workers are not part of your list, so you don't have to give them anything yet. So it's rule number 4 is to go on the internet and research for about 6 hours, but it's important you set your words right. Your search should be the city, the state, the letters CPS, and then whatever you're looking for, like say the policies and operation procedure manual, or you want to look at something about the 388 motion, or you want to look at about ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act. So you do all your research, you learn so much about your case, and it's important to do. I never did, and you should. And rule 5 is to make copies or to have all your documents together. Driver's license, marriage license, birth certificate, social security card, the children's shot cards, the children's medical records. All those are important for the so with that folder, you stuff it in there because you're going to be asked for your marriage certificate and your children's grade reports and their shot cards, any medical issues, because they will do that. So that's important. So those are the 5 rules I've touched base with on there. Now, usually about this time, I usually have my regulars come into the room, and one of them been worried because, well, actually 2 of them, because they don't talk too much anymore. But let me see if I can get a hold of one of them right now. This is Faye, a single mother in Richmond, Kentucky, who has a special needs son. And so hopefully she will answer.
Yes, hello. You have reached my...
Well, it looks like I got her voicemail, and she's not answering. At least it looks like the phone's working. But I think her answer machine is filled up.
Thank you, and have a wonderful... The mailbox is full.
Yeah, I can't leave a message. But there are other ways that I can reach her. Sometimes she'll answer, sometimes she won't. She's had a hard life, and we'll see if she answers there. The other person I have was Darlene from Atlanta, Georgia. She's a single mom with a special needs son. And then there is... yeah, hey, good morning, Faye. Would you like to help me on talk on this podcast this morning?
I guess.
Okay, well, I haven't talked to you in a couple days, and I really like how you can interact with me about things. Anything new in Kentucky?
Well, there's always something with the system here in Kentucky, but I did get a call back from the Kentucky representative, Samara Heverin. David, let's see, this is Thursday.
This
Wednesday?
is Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Or no, Wednesday. Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
I know. I said Thursday, but I was trying to think, was it Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah, it's
But
Wednesday.
no, she called me on Tuesday.
Okay.
But, anyways, I got to talk to her about the stuff that I was concerned about because, like, a lot of her platform is about this things going on with the Cabinet for Health and Family Services. And so I told her, that even though the Ombudsman's office has been moved to the new auditor's office, that really nothing has changed. It still operates exactly the same as it did decades and decades ago. I said the complaints that people are putting in they're getting told the same exact thing every single time, that their complaints aren't legitimate, that they didn't find anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. So I told her about, the children being put in dangerous homes without proper background checks, that I myself was put in a dangerous home, and that they put my son in a home with people with convicted felonies, that have been convicted of felonies, substantiated child abuse through the department, and also were registered sex offenders.
Yeah.
And also said that, they're coming in and they're taking kids out of homes for the most minute things, for things like not having water or not having electricity or for not having enough food or not having a bed to sleep in. But then they're taking these kids for those reasons, putting them in their custody and doing the exact same thing to those kids. They don't have no food. They're online begging for food cards. They don't have places for them to sleep. They don't have roofs to put over their heads. I said, they're doing the exact same thing they're taking these kids for. So you tell me how that makes sense. You're taking kids claiming the parents can't provide for them, then you're taking them and you can't provide for them. I said, where's all the federal funding and all of the raises that Governor Beshear keeps giving them in the money and in their salaries and things like that? Where's all that going to?
Yeah,
I said, not to mention, the majority of these social workers don't even hold a social work license.
Yeah, they don't. They're supposed to, in Kentucky, they're supposed to have a license. You're right.
I said, there's so many concerns going on. And I said, not only that, but these people are taking children from families with outside court orders or warrants where no imminent danger is involved. I said, and they've been on the news for doing that before, so we can't say they don't do that. I said, and then on top of that, they have a history of placing children in the homes of felons and sex offenders. I said, and then I said, on top of that, they, these social workers, they lie in their court reports, they lie on the stand, they're committing perjury. I said, I could go on for days. And I said, when this stuff is brought to the attention of our state representatives, our legislators, our governor, even our mayor, and so on and so forth, all we get is silence. Nobody cares. And I said, over 35 children in the last 5 years have died inside of state custody, inside of that cabinet.
And what did she say to all that?
She was like, wow. I'm like, but how is that even shocking? Because all this stuff is on the news. This stuff is on the news. I said, it can't be a surprise. You can't be shocked by it. This has been going on for decades, and
Right.
Nothing has changed. It was going on in the 80s, in the 90s. It was going on in the 2000s. It was going on from 2012 to 2015, and it's still going on now.
Yeah.
And I said there was a huge investigation done back in 2006 or 2008 by the Attorney General, and nothing was ever done with that investigation. I said, just like the ADA investigation through the Department of Justice, not a thing was done with that either.
No, you're right. You're right. For all you listeners out there, Faye is a very articulate woman who's educated. She has a college degree in nursing, and she has a special needs son that she's trying to get guardianship of, who's 20. She has a long lost daughter she hasn't seen, and her daughter now is about 12 years old. And she was taken away from her from when the daughter was 8 months. And it's also weird because later they gave her a child to watch, and so she could take care of her son and watch this child on the weekend, where she later adopted him. And but she couldn't have her own daughter.
Formally adopt him, Bob.
No, I'm sorry, not a formal adoption, but you let him be with you till he turned 18. And so I call that, I don't know, you took him underneath your mother's wing. So I have one person's room called Yuji. I think you're from Utah. She said, "Hi, Bob. Please, 5 times are good for first timers. That's why I made them really short and simple, my 5 rules. And finding them being acquainted with CPS. The 5 suggestions, yes." Yuji also says not only in Kentucky, but also in Utah. So I imagine, Yuji, you're from Utah. And if you have a question, Faye would love to help you. I would love to help you, and other people's room would love to help you. All you have to do is text me a message, either about your question about your case, or maybe a comment, Yuji. But thank you so much for coming into the room. And the other day, Faye, I found some core digest questions, and some were pretty lengthy. I spent the whole, a good half an hour talking about the Core's Digest, which is an application that tracks questions about a lot of things, and one of them you can make is CPS. They also offer questions, and sometimes it's very helpful and stuff. But I do have a lot of other things there. I'll have to give you a call back, Faye. This is Bob Pace. Welcome.
Saw this number on a live on YouTube, and I just had some questions.
Yeah, good. Yeah, really. What is your name?
Dee
Sidney?
Dee.
Dee. Okay, how do you spell that? I have a hard time.
It's okay. It's P-H-O-E-B-E.
Oh, pretty. Okay. And what area are you from? What city or county or state you're from?
I'm from Virginia.
Oh, great. Great, Virginia. Now, I know Virginia because I live there, so I know lots about Virginia. Are you from Northern Virginia? Or are you from like the Arlington area? Or
No, I'm from Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Harrisburg. Okay, down south. Okay, great. And what about your CPS case? How did they start with you?
So I am actually the child of a CPS conviction.
You're a foster child.
Not foster care, and I just had some questions because
Sure.
my case was considered founded, but they placed me back in the home, which resulted in more abuse. So I was wondering if there is any legal action that I can take.
Well, first of all, how old are you?
I'm 23 now.
Oh, 23. Well, they CPS can only have jurisdiction up to age 18. They cannot go beyond 18. So
yeah, I'm wondering if I can file a civil lawsuit.
Oh yeah, you can file against who? The CPS or against your parents?
CPS.
Yeah, you can file a civil lawsuit against them. You can do it both in state or federal court. And I recommend federal court because the federal government's a little bit less corrupt than the state is. I'm not saying they're bad things, but what you will need though is an attorney. It's very hard to do a lawsuit without an attorney. An attorney is going to require a retainer, and you need to find an attorney. And a lot of attorneys don't like to sue CPS because they're afraid of them. Now, I have an attorney, and since you called in, you're actually going to get free 15 minutes with him if you choose to want this, because the people that call in on my show get 15 minutes with Mr. Davis, who is my attorney that does do civil lawsuits. He's also fought, for 35 years, so he's well familiar. And what Constitution or civil rights were violated?
I was, when I was doing research for this, I was thinking about negligence because they had proof of the abuse, and they did not set up any safety protocols or anything like that. They just sent me back, and that was that. And they didn't check in with me at all after.
Well, when they took you, how old were you when they took you into the system?
So I was 16, and instead of putting me in foster care, they placed me with, no, I didn't know the family, but my brother knew the family. They placed me with a family rather than putting me in foster care. And then while they did their investigation, I lived there. And then after they found the case founded, they put me back. They told me their reasoning was because the abuser was dying of cancer.
Was that your father, your biological father?
No, grandfather.
Grandfather. Oh, so did you have a biological mother and a biological father?
I did. My father, we all lived together, but they did not contact my biological mother who lived in New York.
Why not?
At the time. I have no clue.
Well, there is a good reason right there, because they failed to follow their... See, typically when CPS comes and investigates, they also try to find the father and the mother, even if they're not there. Like the father's incarcerated in prison or the mother's incarcerated or whatnot. But they do try to make an effort. And when they contact the biological parents, and since your case was abuse by grandparents, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And they were taking care of you then, right?
Yeah.
Now, did something happen that your mother and father couldn't take care of you?
My father still had guardianship, and he still lived in the house. And then
Was he your stepfather? Was he your stepfather?
What is it?
Was he your stepfather? You said he had guardianship.
Oh, I just meant, no, he was my biological father.
Okay.
But he, yeah.
So you had a biological father, and what was the mother at the time? Was she moved away or what?
Yeah, so she lived in upstate New York.
Okay, so your father was trying to raise you.
Yeah.
Okay. Who raised you from ages 1 through 15?
My father did have, he lived in the home with us, but it was mostly like our grandparents.
Okay.
Raising us.
So it was like there was the mother, the father, you, and the grandparents. Were his grandparents? I mean, his parents or your mother's parents?
Yes.
It was his parents.
Yes,
okay.
His parents.
All right. And did you have any brothers or sisters?
Yes, I had one sister and one brother.
Now, were they also abused or neglected?
Yes, one of them that I know of. The other one, I'm not sure, but the sister was also abused, and this happened the case happened when I was, I think, 16, and my sister was at that 18. So they were out of the house.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, what kind of initial actions did CPS do with you?
Initially, they just moved me to another house.
Now, when you say they were with foster parents, are these other family members they tried to put you with?
No, I didn't have any other family. This was just a family that my brother knew, and I had never met them.
Oh, okay. So your brother helped out a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, where was your brother living at the time?
I'm not sure. I think college housing. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I lost you.
No, you haven't lost me. I just had a new person come in the room named Kat, and I want to welcome Kat. She's from Minnesota, and she says that Vince spoke with her mother in a law during the case prior to the adoption. So, do you know who Kat is?
I do not.
Oh, okay. I have so far Yuji from Utah, Kat from Minnesota, and then I have Faye from Kentucky, who was on the phone, but she let it go so you could talk. And I want to help you. I want to help you because it is a hard thing that you're faced with. And you need to get an attorney to fight. Now, Mr. Davis will go in any state that there is there. And since you now qualified for a free 15-minute session with him, and if you want that, all I really need is your name, your full name, and your phone number and email. You send that to me by text on the number you called in, 626-698-0990. And then I'll forward it on to my show producer who will make the arrangements for you.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great.
And you get 50 minutes to speak to a guy that's won millions of dollars in both state and civil, state and federal on civil lawsuits. Things like lying on the witness stand is called perjury. That was in my case, and they can be sued. If they did not protect you, then your civil rights are violated right there. You need to have protection. You need to feel safe. Did you try to talk to a social worker about what was happening?
Yeah, so they considered my case founded. The abuser admitted, and this is a sexual abuse case.
Right.
The abuser did admit. The Commonwealth attorney decided not to prosecute because I didn't have any family support, and also because he was dying. So.
Well,
But they decided to stay back. So.
I know. The thing is, it's wrong for anybody. I don't have a boyfriend, a lover, or anybody that abuses another person, whether they're family members or not. It's wrong. If you say no, that means no. If you're out on a date or if a grandparent is doing something that's inappropriate, they should recognize the word no and stop it because that is wrong. And so you have every right to want to sue them because they violated you. And it hurts. It hurts with you growing up with having other relationships with other men, and maybe, marrying a man and having children yourself. So I'm really sorry that has happened to you. It's supposed to happen where the CPS is supposed to protect the children from neglect and physical abuse. and they're also supposed to help you with all kinds of resources that help you there. Now, as a 16-year-old teenager, it's hard because you have other things that are on your mind. And were you able to finish high school?
Yes, I ended up. What ended up happening was when I moved back in, I decided to. The abuse continued, so I decided to live in my car for a bit. And then I house hopped around, found a family to live with for a little bit longer, and then I ended up finding an apartment who would rent to me at 17.
Wow, that is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so proud of you. You seem to, handle that kind of well. It's kind of hard when you're that young because you don't know everything. No one's born with an operation manual about life. There's so much in life. CPS was a very awkward agency to deal with, and they're very vindictive. They're not transparent, and they do hurt people in their care. They don't protect you. The girl that I was just talking to, Faye, was molested and raped. She was in and out of foster care for 5 different times through her teenage years. She was sex trafficking, but somehow she got her high school diploma through the GED, and then she applied to college. She got a nursing degree. The only sad part about it is CPS was so corrupt in Kentucky. When they found out that she had children, they took away one daughter from her because she was told to make a choice. Either you take care of your special needs sons or you take care of your daughter, but you can't have both of them. They wanted her daughter because she was really good looking and I guess well-mannered, whatever. So in 8.5 months, they took her daughter. And, it's so weird because later they gave her another child to watch. And she asked herself, why am I allowed to watch my son and watch another child on the weekends and not watch my own daughter? And she's had a miserable time. Her daughter's 12, and she wants her daughter to know that she did not abandon her and that she was there for her. It's a very tragic event, but if you're in foster care or involved in CPS, it'll come back to haunt you because they will try to take away your children. Do you have any children yourself?
I do not.
Okay. Be very careful because, unless your record is cleared up, and that's one of the things you have when you do the lawsuit, that you want your placement in CPS closed or sealed because you don't want them coming after you when you have your children.
Yeah.
Now, you have an apartment and you have a good job. You have a job that pays the bills?
I do, yeah.
Okay, good.
Making it.
Well, I think when you talk to Vince Davis, he will help you. I know it's a short 15 minutes. I have another program where you can talk to him for 30 minutes for $60. All you would do is type in the website at the bottom of my screen and register yourself for 60 minutes. So you've earned yourself 15 minutes and you can start there. But if you want more time, you could ask for the 30-minute session where you have to go through the website to sign up for that and so forth there. But, this is going to be a hard way to sue. Now, you have access to the internet and a computer, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to put in there Harrisburg, Virginia, and then you're going to use the letters CPS. And after that is how to do a civil lawsuit against CPS. That's all you need to do. And you'll see so much stuff pop up that will help you.
And thank you for your help.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm here on twice a day, 7 days a week. So I'm not hard to find. Now, if things don't work out with Mr. Davis, you can still look for attorney, but you got to be careful what you're looking for because so many people got the wrong attorneys that have taken away their money and they've lost thousands of dollars. There are crooked attorneys out there, I'm afraid to say. So you really have to research. That's why I think right now You're going to talk to the best attorney I know in the country that will sue CPS and not afraid to stand up to them. Other attorneys cringe at the idea of suing social uh, uh, child protection system social workers. It's really a hard thing. Now, did you keep track of all the facts and everything? Do you have records?
Yeah. So actually, I have been trying to get the records from CPS, but they decided that they would not release the records to me or to a victim advocate.
What was the reason? What was the reason?
They didn't give. I guess because I was a child.
But you're an adult now, and you're allowed for those records. They cannot keep them from you. That's what an attorney will help you with. You're entitled to see those records. They're yours. They're your records about what happened with you. It's very important there. So they're going to sit there and try to, lie or work the way against you. But you need to be really forceful. And if one CPS social worker doesn't work, then you have to go to a supervisor or a director, or you have to go to the state of Virginia, the capital of Virginia. That's Richmond, right?
Yes, it is.
Right. In Richmond, you need to speak to the civil rights coordinator or the ombudsperson. That's at the state level. And if that doesn't work, you can go to Washington, D.C., which is not far from you. And you can go to the Health and Welfare Division and go that route too, because you just got to explore the internet. There's so much information out there. I've learned so much. Of course, I've been doing this for 15 years, and I've talked to over 600 people. So it's important there. Now, did they try to help you with your schooling or anything? Did they give you clothing? What did they do?
They didn't do anything. All they did was help find a family for me to stay with initially.
That's wrong. They should have given you some aid and things, like, wow. They just abandoned you.
They didn't give a safety plan for me to come back either.
Right. Well, they violated a lot of issues there. I see a lot of holes that they're going to have to that you can do a lawsuit on there, because they're supposed to protect the children, and they instead didn't protect you. And I don't know why they didn't put you in foster care and just put you with some families your brother suggested, which is better, I guess. Family members are better than the foster care people, because foster care people do hurt children in their custodies. Their children will actually be bullies against the other children. So it's really kind of a hard thing that you have with the situation you're going through. Are there any other questions?
That was it. Thank you for your help.
Oh, well, I want you to know that you can come back. Are you going to send me text me your full name, your phone number, and email, so that way I can give you the 15-minute of time with Mr. Davis?
Yeah, I will be texting you. Thank
right.
you.
I'll look for that. And again, thank you so much for calling in and sharing your story there. And if you want to call in again, any questions, especially after you talk to Mr. Davis, if there's any questions, he'll be live on the podcast next Saturday for questions and answers. So that's at 10 o'clock next Saturday. So that's another thing you can look at to him too, before you get your chance to talk to him. So I want you to have a good day, and, God bless you. We'll talk again.
Yeah, thank you so much. You have a good day too.
Bye-bye. Okay, to all my listeners out there, that was Pepe from Harrisburg, Virginia. and she um, had to had an interesting case. So yeah, hi Faye. I had to take a call that came in, and it was from
Yeah.
a girl named Peppy from Harrisburg, Virginia, and she
Yeah.
was. Oh, you heard it? Okay.
Mhm.
So she was a foster kid like you, but she wants to sue them. She's 25 now, and apparently her grandfather sexually abused her, and the CPS did nothing to save her or help her. They put him instead with foster care people. They put him with families, like her brother suggested a family and stuff, but they never gave her any services or anything. And right now they're
My
giving.
son wants to sue, but can't find an attorney one that'll do it because they're all a bunch of fucking cowards.
Yeah, I know that. I told her that, but I said she's going to talk to Mr. Davis. She's earned herself a free 15 minutes with Mr. Davis, and we'll see where that goes. She has a job, and so she might be able to do that. So we have about 4 minutes, it looks like, of my show. It's
I
11.
didn't know I was still on your show. You should have said something.
I said what?
I didn't know you were still on there. You should have said something.
Oh, yeah, I was still on it. I'm not ready to turn off yet. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Faye?
No, but I said a bad word because I didn't know you were still on the show.
Oh, I missed it. And so
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, it is a live podcast, and I try to do my best here. But I'm going to end the show because it's 11 o'clock, and I'm going to have everybody listen to Mr. Davis. After I leave, there'll be a message from Mr. Davis again. So you all keep trying hard for your case. I want to thank UG. I think it's UG from Utah, and Kat from Minnesota. Thank you so much for your messages and so forth. Thank you, Faye, for answering the phone and helping out with the podcast. And I want to thank, I think her name is Poopsie, in Harrisburg, Virginia. So God bless you all. This is Bob Pace signing off, and keep fighting for your kids.
Hi, I'm attorney Vincent Davis, and I've been fighting CPS for over 35 years. Through my years of experience, I've gained invaluable insights that I'm ready to share with you. If you're a parent or a caregiver or a relative, we need to talk. I'm offering a new opportunity for you to speak with me on a one-on-one basis. Ask me any questions, and I'll provide you with the insight you need to take steps in your CPS case. Members get everything they need to gain confidence and the knowledge that they need to support necessary to truly fight back. And as a special thank you for attending, I have a special offer just for you. Don't miss out. Join us, and let's take that next step together. I'll see you at the question and answer event.